Just then, the boys suddenly spotted a woman's body floating in the lake. Federal agents rushed to the scene within minutes. They discovered the corpse had been weighed down with heavy objects and bound with electrical wire before being dumped in the water. What shocked everyone even more was that the dive team kept pulling up bodies with the same cause of death. The agents immediately realized they were dealing with a serial killer. That's when one officer noticed something odd. All 3 female victims had their rings removed, and the killings were happening closer and closer together. Mike was stunned by this revelation. The pattern matched a cold case from 8 years ago perfectly, but the original killer, Jesse, had been behind bars ever since. Meanwhile, Mary and Roger tracked down a restaurant manager named Luke through the victim's social connections, but he bolted through the kitchen back door before they could grab him. Mary quickly called in to get Luke's address, and they soon arrived at a house. When Roger kicked down the front door, thick smoke hit them in the face. A computer was burning on the stove. A noise from the back drew Roger's attention, and he caught sight of Luke jumping out a window. Roger immediately gave chase and caught him in no time.
Where you going, buddy?
Back at the station, however, the police found Luke had a solid alibi, but they stumbled upon something unexpected. A chat room where all 3 victims had been active. Mike then suggested they start by questioning Jesse's sister. They tracked her down quickly. She immediately admitted to giving false testimony years ago, insisting her brother was innocent because he was always helping people. At the same time, the police discovered a 4th body, along with plastic fragments left at the scene. They rushed back to the lab for testing. Officers then identified a car that had been showing up frequently near the lake. The 2 detectives headed straight to the children's hospital to meet the owner, Joey. He claimed his car had been stolen 4 months ago. During their conversation, they discovered he was a leukemia patient. Then an officer brought bizarre news. The DNA from the plastic bottle matched Jesse's. While everyone stood there stunned, another officer discovered that Joey had logged into the chat room at a coffee shop the day before Jenny was killed. The detectives seemed to be putting the pieces together.
You said that De Leon had been sick, right?
Yeah, he had leukemia as a kid.
Are you sure it was leukemia?
Yeah, positive.
Soon Joey was brought into the interrogation room. The agents had already uncovered the truth. Joey had leukemia as a child, and Jesse had donated bone marrow to save him. That's why he carried Jesse's DNA. Mike then laid out the smoking gun. 5 rings from the victims found at Joey's house, plus evidence of his childhood trauma, witnessing his father use electrical wire to abuse his mother. Faced with the mountain of evidence, Joey had no choice but to confess.